what do you know about hoops? Can you just brief me about the basic concepts of hoops, like class, objects, abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance? Like, can you give me a brief introduction of everything?
Yeah, sure. So roughly, if I look out for the concepts of the OOPS, so uh, the component is different thing. Component is like you can have a class, you can have the object, but the basic concepts goes like first you have an inheritance. So inheritance basically means inherit the properties of the parent class into the child class. So that is one thing, inheritance. Now when we talked about the encapsulation, so encapsulation is binding out the component into, you can say encapsulation can be considered as a capsule. So every time you declare a class, so that is an encapsulation, because you are defining out the private variables and providing out the getter and setters for this. So you basically binding out the class, and once when you try to use it, you can use it with using the instances, or if you are using a static variable, then you can use it. Now when I talked about the abstraction, so abstraction is one of the way, that's where the concept of the abstract class comes in, and the interfaces also. So it defines out the structure. It's the responsibility of the child class to have implemented all those structure which has been defined by the parent class. So that is basically the abstraction. And now when we talked about the polymorphism basically comes up. Poly means many, and the morphism means the forms. So it comes up with many forms. So it has it has been classified under two. So you have a compile time polymorphism, and then you have a runtime polymorphism. So compile time polymorphism, when I talked about, so it is a method overloading. So what method overloading is like, you having you are having a two method having the same name, but having a different parameters, uh, the data type of a parameters. This is overriding. Now when I talked about,
Sorry,
sorry,
say that again.
this
You
is,
said that static polymorphism, right? There
yeah,
is
this is
something
overloading.
overloading.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I talked about the runtime polymorphism, so that is overriding. So what overriding is means, you have two classes. Now one class, suppose you have a two class A and class B. Now one class B and extending the class A. Now in both the classes, the signature of the method should be the same. So that is the case of the overriding. And yeah, this is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by interface?
Interfaces, like if I talk about the Java 7, so interfaces is consist of all the abstract matter that is called an interface. But after Java 8, or in Java 8, in the later version of the Java 8, interfaces can have static and as a default method as well.
Okay, how is it different from abstract class?
Now, abstract class can contain normal method. It does not have to follow, all methods should be abstract. So abstract class can contain a normal method as well, other than the abstract one.
So, so you're saying pure abstract is interface.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let me. Do you have your IDE open? What IDE do you prefer? I basically would like to give you some few Java questions.
Okay.
So maybe I would like you to share your screen, and
Yeah,
I'll paste it
yeah.
in Zoom chat.
Yeah. Give me a moment.
Yep. So you're sharing a screen.
Yeah, I'm opening the Eclipse. Once it is open, then I will share this.
Okay.
Yeah. Or rather, we can use the notepad, no shoes.
Yeah, that'd be great. Just
Yeah.
open it in Notepad.
Yeah, yeah.
Not IDE. Notepad would be great.
Able to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So you have. shared some code, right?
That's right. Can you please copy paste here?
Yeah. Just give me a moment.
Great.
This is the one only. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So, can you tell me what could be the output for this question? And maybe first, you just tell me whether this code is right or it needs some tweak. If at all it needs tweak, what is the tweak? And if at all it doesn't, like you can just tell me the output.
It run into the ambiguity one because object can also have null and string can also accept null.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an ambiguous. So compiler does not know what to do with it. I think compilation is will be there because
Sure.
null can be accepted by object and a string as well. Just give me a moment. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much sure.
Okay, you can test it by opening an Eclipse class and try it out.
Okay.
So, so if object can contain null, is null an object basically?
Sorry.
Is null an object basically?
Null and object.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sorry.
just give me.
Sure.
Now, what's the question?
Yeah. Please copy paste this.
No, no. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can compile this and see what is the issue. You said it will be compiled time error, right? But you can run it and see. Okay. So can you figure out what is why it is not a compiler issue and why it is actually spitting out the result? Do you see? I mean, first you can tell me why did you say it's a compile time issue? Maybe you can just start with
Because
that.
the method you are calling, because both of these can take the null value, but I'm
Yeah, it can take the null value, but what about their types? Is null an object?
null not an object.
Then there doesn't come any the string, right? So it can map it to string. Of course, string you can just initialize to the string, right? String to string, it can go to the string. So that's to the string. So null is not an object. So this shouldn't cause you any issues. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. I'll quickly move on to the next question.
sure.
Maybe I'll get this feedback, and I'm yeah. So I'm pasting you the next question.
Okay, yeah.
Um, yeah. You told me about overriding, overloading, right? So
Yeah.
the next question is based on that. Can you copy paste it from this thing?
Yeah.
Open your Notepad Plus first, please.
Okay. Should I write it down?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you see here? Whether it will compile fine or what do you think of this particular this thing? If at all this is a case, then what could be the output basically?
Okay.
So yeah. So first let's get started with this thing. First, which one will get called from JVM? Which of these main methods will get called? Main method will call, right? Get called,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's a daemon thread, so
So
definitely this will go.
right.
Yeah.
So there are three other objects, uh,
So,
and where
I think these two object. Uh, Hello.
mhm.
Okay. I I think if it is happening with with that code snippet, I think the same should be happened here.
Mhm.
I think the
Mhm.
string will call because either way you are defining the two methods, but the content. Okay. Object null. It will not take. Either way, I think then also the string method will come.
Okay. So do you think it will compile fine?
Mm,
I would like you to pay attention to the concept of overriding. We have overridden a method here. Overridden a method here.
yeah, but
Yep. Do you think we can see a qualifier as static? Do you see that static can be overridden?
no,
Static
no,
method can be overridden.
no, no. No, you cannot.
You cannot override.
Yeah.
So what can be the output here?
Now I think we came into the compilation.
Can you check that? Please replace that with in IDE and we'll check it.
Okay.
So you said that there will be compilation issue, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I can see it. That's this thing. So can you please explain why you cannot override a static method?
Well, you cannot override a static method. I think the point here is with the static method is like once the class has been loaded, uh, then only the static method means it is not like the instance methods. So for example, when you call, then it will load. So either way, once the static method is defined and once you load out the class, automatically all the static methods get loaded only once. So maybe that might be the reason.
Yeah, the key is you cannot achieve the runtime polymorphism here. So it's not something static. It's not something running. It's doing at the runtime. It's a compile time thing.
Yeah.
So you cannot override it. Okay. So let me move on to the next question.
Yeah, sure.
I have noted down all whatever you just did. So next question will be based on I went over your resume. So you it's been said that you have worked on multi-threaded environment.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that right?
yeah.
Okay. So can you please explain what are threads, what are executor service, and can you give me a brief introduction on that?
Yeah, sure. So threads is basically is a part of a process. So why the threads has been introduced is a part of wanted to produce a system which is lightweight and can operate in a faster execution time. So
Mm-hmm.
like initially when Java is not there, so CGI used to have a processes which for each and every task within the operating system. So once the Java has come up, so they introduces a concept of multi-threading. So what this is like, you have one process, but can that one process can have a multiple call stack, can have different call stacks and can perform different actions, but having combined combined capability of a process as well. So a
Mm-hmm.
process can have a multiple threads working on
Mm-hmm.
the same process, which a process is working on the same environment, or you can say on the same task with the less memory space as well as the less performance overhead. Now, when I talked about the executor framework, so it basically is one of the way through which you can perform your task on the thread by calling by using the thread pool. So basically what thread pool is like, you define a certain set of threads and you define each thread a different task, and once those particular thread finishes the task, then you can assign those thread a new task. So basically you are not once the how many, suppose for example 1,000 tasks are there. So if you say like, only 10 threads can do my work, all the 1,000 tasks, and all each those 1,000 tasks has been assigned to some, for example 100 subtasks and 100 subtasks, so you have a 10 subtasks. So you can say okay, 10 numbers of thread pool can be used again and again to achieve my goal. So that is the whole motive of the executor framework. And it can also yeah, I think this is the basic understanding of why it has been introduced.
Okay. So how do you implement a thread, or how do you call a thread?
How do you call a thread? Okay, so means making of the thread or something like that you
Yeah,
asking?
yeah, yeah. You can.
Yeah, okay. So there are three ways through which you can create a thread. So first one is the thread class. Second one would be functional, sorry, runnable interface, and the third one is callable interface. So now the point here with why we have a callable interface is like, when you checked around the run method of the thread, and as well as the runnable interfaces which uses the thread class to handle this execution. So if you
Mm-hmm.
check the if you check the signature of the method, so it is saying like it does not have the return type, so it is a public void run. But when it comes to the callable, so it has a return type, so you can
Okay.
yeah, sure.
Okay. Fine. So what do you think of future in thread concept?
Future, I have not used, but I think uh, idea about the features like, just correct me if I'm wrong. So what I what I learned in the in the Oracle website is like, the future object is being used. Suppose you have an executor object, you can say, okay. So you create a references of the executor object, and you created a thread pool of, let's say, 10 threads. Suppose if in case you have this scenario where you have certain numbers of tasks, and you wanted to assign a particular thread once the task has been executed, you wanted to assign that particular task for the future task to be performed, and the segment of the future task has been already been declared. So you can say, once the execution of that particular thread has been completed, then it moves to the future. And then once the future object, once the future object cleared is its operation, then it will go to the submit. So how can I
So is future blocking or non-blocking?
future blocking or not blocking?
Future dot get.
I'm not getting a question, Danish.
Or say for example, you have defined an executor class and it
Okay.
returns a future, and once your say for example you have your main class and you have
Okay.
your executor service and it's returning your future,
Mhm.
and you're doing some operation in the main function, and then your called function in the future it gets completed.
Yeah.
It is actually running, and when you're done with your main function calculations, and finally you're checking whether the future is being done or not, that feature, that particular
Correct.
method has been done or not, you will be doing a get,
Yeah.
or you will be doing a dot is done.
Yeah.
So do you think that's a blocking or a non-blocking call?
Uh, uh, if it is okay.
Wait, before that, I would like to ask you one more question. Like, do you think that any thread can say, for example, we have a different thread, right? We have
Yeah.
initialized through that
Yeah.
particular service and all, right? And do you think any spawned thread from our main program, not a daemon thread, can complete before daemon thread, or it can still run even though if the daemon thread dies off?
So as far as I know, daemon threads are the lowest priority threads, and if you say maybe if you have an environment where okay, but that too have to, yeah. No, I don't think like it will run without a daemon thread, because either way, if the daemon thread stops, so your whole execution of the program stops, because after, that's what I heard, like in the, because you cannot also define a static block for that.
Hmm.
So I
Okay.
think daemon thread is required for that.
Okay.
And
So,
talking,
that should answer your question whether future is blocking or not blocking.
yeah, actually I was
Okay.
thinking about the same, but I am not very sure about it whether it is blocking or not. For the blocking part, I don't know exactly. Exactly, I'm not have too much evidence to come to the conclusion.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Let's move on to the next question.
Yeah.
That's okay. So I would want you to quickly write down a program. I don't know how much time does Ankan want to interview. Ankan, do you want to? How much time do you need to interview in SQL?
No, did you carry on? No issues. Okay.
Thanks, Ankan. So Akash, I would like you to write a function, basically not a function, write a logic
Mhm.
where say for example there is a list of stream of employee data that is coming in. That employee as its id, is name, age. You can think of it as a pojo, basically. Id, name, age, salary. There are actually four fields you can think of. And everything. So what I would want you to do is, like, I first need you to sort the collection. Basically there will be an employee collection. Obviously I'm going to give you a list. So
Mhm.
first you need to sort the collection by salary descending, and then I want you to, once the salary has been sorted in descending, I want you to display the order in age ascending. How do you do that?
Okay. Uh,
I would prefer to write a code. Even pseudocode is fine, even if it's not, if fine with it. So I just want to know the logic how you approach.
okay.
So you can think of, there is a list, there is an array list. It contains Bojo, it contains employee list, basically.
Okay.
Each employees, obviously it's a class, and
Mhm.
yes. Maybe to save your time, what I can just give you is, I can give you the this thing. You don't need to type it out. What I can just give you this, I can give you the test cases which actually listed. I pasted it in Zoom chat. You can copy paste that, and I would want you to implement the sorting function, which
This is the
should
one, right?
contain, yes, only this basic test case.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, implement a logic which actually sorts it by salary descending.
Mhm.
If at all it's after salary descending, I should want you to do by age ascending.
I think okay.
say for example is 70 and 70,
Yeah, got your point.
60
Got
and
your point. Got your
80
point.
and 80. Yeah, you can think at 7 and 5 employee 80, 7 and 6 basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, I want you to this thing just change the test case of line number 9. I mean employee ID 6 to age 45. I think that should be suffice for this use case. Yes, fine. That's fine. Yeah, please.
Okay, I need to short it out, right?
Yes.
So this is a multiple sequence sorting.
Yes.
For the multiple sequence sorting, I guess we can implement comparator, and
Mm-hmm.
then means either way we can you know uh, let's say whatever the class you have, and not this parameter. So let's say you have an employee, right? So I created one imp dot get. Uh, so for the first parameter, what should be the first parameter?
Sorry for what?
For the first sorting sequence would be this, right? Would be
Yeah, it
named
can
then.
be anything.
It can be an.
Yeah. No, you are trying to write the function of compare, right? You are trying to. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Please go ahead.
We can use something like that, or otherwise
Can you explain what you are trying to do? What
actually
compare do? What then comparing does? And why there is only one argument is there and compare, and why there is. Please explain the line number 13 code.
yeah. So this is an okay. Okay, now I'll this it also should have
Mm-hmm.
equals, and all those meta should be there, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, sure. You're done with this.
I think yeah. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
like if I say like uh, this is the instance which we exactly currently presented, and this is the instance we are comparing it with. Uh, yeah. So this comparator interface have this compare method where we seeks out for the first parameter to be for the checking, and then this subsequent method is also a part of the comparator where it checks out, if we wanted to check with some other parameters other than this. So if suppose if this comes out to be an equal one, then it will check out for this parameter.
Can you please transpile this to code, please? Translate it to a Java code, whatever you're just doing. Um, of course, if you want, you can use your IDE if you're okay with that.
Yeah, so much.
Okay, how do you sort it basically? Just tell me that. How do you sort a list? How do
Sorting
you
of,
sort any collection?
so uh, by using the for loop, by using the enhanced for loop.
Okay, nans follow. What are the other ways? Like you can think of any handy sort functions
Yeah,
which you have.
you can use the use the sort.
What if it is a list? What if it is other collections? It's not of this.
Okay. If it is
What
a
is it? What if it is a generic collection?
okay, journal collection. Okay. So you are saying like if it is a hash map and how they going to sort it?
Yep,
Something like that. Okay.
yep, can be there.
Hmm. Uh, okay.
Mm, time is running out. So okay, we'll go on with some leads. So let's see how well we can just make it. So there is something called um, collections dot sort, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
Yep. So
Yes.
how do you implement a comparator there? Just tell me that logic. That should be fine.
Sorry.
Uh, I've asked you a custom function, right, to actually sort it first salary descending and then age ascending. So we are at the juncture that we are bound to use the collections dot sort. So since it is a custom sorting, so we need to use a comparator, right?
Yeah.
Custom comparator, right? Yes. So how do you implement a comparator? Like, I mean, can you write the comparator logic? Like, is it this comparator dot compare this em dot get age? You just explain me the line number 25. That should be fine.
Means
Why it doesn't require any two objects? It just what do you mean by em dot get age? Is em an object or what is
no,
that?
actually, this is the one where we have the written out the getter and setter for the object.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
what is the current realization of it? So for example, on the top of it, if we are comparing like the first element and the second element. So the for the second element this should be there. For the first element we already have the differences of. So for this one is there. And then if both these things are comes out to be equal, then this function comes in handy, like this comparing. Then we are comparing with the second element with the currently referenced, and then when we are saying okay now, if both of them the salary is so, then we will say true or false, something like that.
Okay, just copy this code to me in Zoom chat, and maybe Ankan, I'm actually I'm done with. Maybe you can just carry over.
Just give me a moment.
Okay, thank you, DJ.
Yeah.
So hi Akash, my name is Ankan. I'm part of the same team.
Yeah.
We work primarily on Oracle including cloud implementation. So as for technology goes, we use Java and PL/SQL both for our day-to-day work. So from your CV, I come to know that you have some exposure to Oracle SQL and PL/SQL, right?
Yeah.
So can you please tell me, so what, till how much exposure did you get in SQL and PL/SQL? Like, did you create any custom packages? Did you create any custom procedures or functions as part of your work?
Yes, so I'm yes, I have created a custom procedures, custom functions, and these tables and all those things are also there, and also created triggers. Uh, Also, apart from the triggers, like most of the work goes into understanding if there's any slowness with the queries that what we have written. So we also checked out AWS pattern, all those things, and also here and there also we have done the profiling of how this queries and indexes, creation of the indexes and all those things.
Okay. So you have created tables in database. So from your experience, you have created tables in the Oracle database. You have
Yeah,
created index those tables.
yeah,
You have created SQL queries for your work. You have created SQL functions and procedures and packages, and you have also done some performance tuning if the code is running slow, right?
yeah.
So you can open a new notepad. I'll be asking you a very small question based on SQL, and then we'll move on to SQL. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I tell you to write a small piece of code, just to let me know. So today is Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
18th of August. So how many days are there till the next Sunday?
Sorry. I'm not getting you till.
Yeah, a small SQL code.
Okay.
So it's not today's date, right? So Wednesday, 18th of August.
Yeah.
Small SQL code to find out how many days are left till the next Sunday.
Till the next Sunday.
Yeah.
Till the next Sunday. Okay. Till the next Sunday. Okay. Uh,
Okay.
till the
So,
next Sunday.
uh,
Yeah, you are saying something.
or maybe if you are, I can make this easier. So a small section of a code snippet, I can say code snippet, just to find out what is what is the date of the last Sunday in this month. That is easier, I believe.
What is the
What is
last
the date
Sunday?
of the last Sunday?
What is the date of the
What is
last
the
Sunday?
date Sunday this month? It should be a small code snippet. You need not be. We don't need to actually compile and run. Just a snippet will do.
Okay. The last Sunday. Okay. The last Sunday. So today is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Means it should not be something like I will say something like sys det minus something like this. That's not something like that, right?
No, no,
I
no,
need to
no.
find out. I need to find
So
out the
I
Sunday
give
and
you.
then the
So
date.
I ask. No, no. I ask. It is basically I give you any given month. Say it's January of 2021, and
Okay.
I ask you write a small code snippet to find out the date of the last Sunday of January 2021. Any given month. Let's
Okay.
assume it's January 2021.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So are you familiar with to underscore date and to underscore char
Yeah,
functionalities that is available in SQL?
yeah, I am. But the point is like it means whenever I use the underscore, so this is something like the scope, like you're checking out with something and you define out the format of it. But I think this will not suffice our requirement, because I think in that requirement, do we need to use the pre-existing tables of the Oracle database? something like that, because
No, this is not, there is no table. This is just a query on the date. I mean, it's basically to check whether you're familiar with to underscore date and to underscore car that we do, basically formatting the dates. So if I tell you to find out what is the day today, is it Sunday, it is Monday, or is it Tuesday on sysdate, will you be able to do that?
okay, Sunday.
There's no table info.
Uh, like
Okay. Let's move on. So, so you have this very simple question. So, there are I give a range of numbers, say 25 to 55. Can you find how many prime numbers are there between this range?
in the SQL, right?
Yes. You need not write a full code. Just a snippet will do. Just the logic of, I give you a range of starting from 25 to say 55. So between this number range, how many prime numbers are there?
Okay, okay. From in the SQL, how to do it? Okay.
There's no table here. There's no table needed here. It's just a date range. Okay. Uh, should we move on to the next question?
Yeah.
Okay. So have you worked in PL/SQL collections?
Principal collections.
PL/SQL collections. I mean, uh, array v array. Have you worked on collections?
Collections, as in the sense of the SQL, right?
Yes. Have you worked on? Have any experience working on collections in PL/SQL or SQL? How to define the collections? How to use them? No.
No.
Okay. So have you worked with CLOB or BLOB data types?
Yes, for that matter, yes.
Okay. So can you briefly tell me what is the difference between CLOB and BLOB, and can we convert from CLOB to BLOB and vice versa?
We I'm very much sure about the BLOB. So BLOB is one of those things, for example, if you have if you have an XML data, and it is way beyond the range of the normal data set. So the normal uh, for example, you have a date, so you have a range. So for the if you say your XML packet you are having, in it does not fit under the uh, normal range, you can say. So in that case, if you have a more string, then you are storing it under the block. But when it comes to the block, when it comes to the CLOB, so on that thing, if you have any images or have a metadata around the images, then you are using the CLOB object for that matter.
Okay. So XML and other file types which are not size, where size is more than the worker or some other strings will permit, that stored in BLOB, and image and other things will be stored in CLOB. Yes, this is what you said, right?
Yeah, that is what we are used in the professional projects, so that we have already worked on.
Are you sure about this? Image can be stored in CLOB, CLOB.
Yeah,
Okay. So you said you have worked with web services, right?
yeah.
So have you invoked any web service from PL/SQL using PL/SQL APIs?
Um, no. We means invoking. Okay. No, I don't think so. By using the PLSQL API, you are saying.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, no.
No, okay.
No.
So is it possible, any idea? Is it possible to invoke?
Uh, Definitely, like one of the packages I've seen in the Oracle, which have those capabilities, but I don't recall exactly what where those packages, because if you can schedule all those things, definitely if you can schedule all those things, then definitely you can invoke the web services also.
Okay. Okay. So in your SQL statements, have you used the decode
Decode.
function? Yeah.
Decode function, yes, I think yes, I have used in my first project. Uh, just give me a moment. Let me recall what the application we have used.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Mm,
Sure.
I think yeah. Suppose but that is record. Suppose in your SQL query, if you wanted a particular prompt value you wanted to insert from your side. Suppose you're running one query and you defined in the scope you are in the query itself you defined a decode function, and you can say a decoding, and the value and in the prompt it will show you the prompt that showing that what is the name of it. So if you define the parameter something like decode, and then I think it uses end sign end sign, I guess it uses end sign, and if you define out the value for it, so it will take out the value inside the queue and then it will run it. I'm not pretty much
Okay.
sure, but I think this is it. Means
Okay.
it will
So
prompt out the
final.
value to you. Yeah.
Mhm. So finally, you talked about some performance tuning, right?
Yeah.
So the query is running slow. So exactly how do you find out if a query is running slow and which clause or condition of the query is making it slow? So how exactly do you do that?
So, like in all our applications, we actually try to draw out the AWR report. So every in AWR report, every you have a different segments of it. Suppose for example, one of the queries causing slowness by the input output slowness. Some of the queries having problem in the CPU utilization or the CPU waiting time. Something is that. So you have different segments. So once we identify, okay, now by looking at the application server and looking out, how much this particular query is taken out, and we have defined some of the pain points across which if this query is taking more time, then we are definitely going to look for the AWR report. So once we have
Okay.
figured out like these are the queries, then we go ahead, and the first step we do is like creating the indexes where the where clause has been used in all those columns.
Okay.
So
So
it
have you done
will.
any tracing? Do you know about how to do a tracing in a database uh,
Tracing
for
and
performance tuning?
yeah, tracing and all actually I personally do not do it, but I have heard that term tracing in when I talked with the DBA person, so they have
Okay.
discussed it.
Okay. Okay. That is all from my end. Thank you for your replies.
Yeah, sure, thank
Okay,
Over
you.
to you,
so
Dinesh.
yeah, thanks, Ankan. Thanks, DJ. So,
Thanks, Shankar.
Akash, any questions you have to us? We are wrapping up. Any questions you have?
Yeah, sure. Can you brief me about the project which the hiring is currently working on?
Yeah. So as Ankan and DJ was mentioning, so we are part of Oracle Applications Lab, which is kind of an internal IT team. So basically, we do implement all Oracle's products for Oracle's own business, right? So
Okay.
we our team focus on the HCM applications, human capital management, and under that recruiting, right? So for example, if you go to oracle.com/careers, you search for jobs, all those things, right? So all those applications is something that we have done, right? So basically it's a recruiting applications that we work on.
and we do development, we do production support, implementation. It's basically a consulting kind of job, but
Okay.
client is Oracle itself. It's an internal IT team basically.
Good.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so that's what we are.
Thanks a lot, Dinesh. Thanks, Ankan. Thanks, Dinesh.
Okay, anything else? Any other questions?
No. I'm good.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Akash. You
Thanks,
can drop
Akash.
now. Yeah, you can
Thanks.
drop now. We'll stay for
Thanks.
some time.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.